Fine. Let me just. Okay. Is it sounding too difficult, DevOps? Yes, no?
Uh,
Yes?
Little bit.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, no worries. I think you have reached to the right destination right now. Okay. Um, Anyone of you who have not heard this term before 2 days, or when you decided that you want to actually join some sort of a class, anybody who has not heard it before? Yes, come on. There's a prize for you. Okay. Okay, no worries. I think everybody is aware what is DevOps, but yes, we will understand what we do as in what the DevOps engineer do and what are the job opportunities for anybody. Correct? Okay, wonderful. Before we go to any understanding anything about DevOps, how many of you do online shopping? Hmm? How many of you? I think almost all of them. Yes. Is that
Yes.
Yes.
yes? Okay. Have you heard of this website? I'm sure. I think you might not heard of it because this is one of the most popular website in US, which sell lot of handmade, custom-made artifacts, um, shirts, designs, yeah, all those things, yeah, goodies, gifts, all those things. You have not heard it. Okay. Do you know how many times this catalog of the product they are updating? Do you know? Or do you have any ideas or any rough ideas? Hmm? Yes, no? No ideas. Okay. Take a wild guess. Okay, fine. No? Fine. I'm not. Okay, daily, weekly. Wonderful. Thank you, Nick. Okay. So let us get to the problem. Okay, now what is the problem we are trying to solve when we are actually working, when we are talking about DevOps? Yeah. So in today's world, whatever we are doing, okay, right from the time we are actually waking up, okay, to the time we are sleeping, we are working with nothing but software based application. Yeah, software based app, software based any kind of a uh, utility or anything. So in today's world, everything is related to a software. Yeah, and all those software, whatever we are using, they need some sort of a hardware to run on. Yeah, so we call it a server. Yeah, and when we build our software on top of that server, we call it as a service. A service to actually order something, a food, yeah, to book Ola, Uber, yeah, or to buy new clothes. All those things are part of that service which is offered by the software. Hmm? So, will you wait for 5 minutes for any website to load your favorite products and then you will start seeing those things and then ordering all those things? Will you wait for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
No. No.
Correct. No. Yeah. So, so to understand the background behind all the software, how it is delivered to you at a faster rate, at a very smooth space. Yeah, no issues in the website being loaded fast. Hmm? So all those things need some sort of a mechanism to bring that software to you. Hmm? And any kind of a any kind of a delay in bringing that software or that service to you can be very much a time and money loss. Yeah. So why this happens, why there can be a delay in terms of delivering the right software, right packages to you, there can be n number of reasons. Okay, my code is not correct. Yeah, code might have some bugs which I have not seen. What is bug? Some sort of a problem. Hmm? Yeah. So Because of this, there might be some issues which you will face when you are actually working with the software. Hmm? Take an example. In India, we have the food delivery app like Swiggy. Yeah. So if you order a food and due to some glitch, yeah, instead of your order being delivered today, it might get delivered tomorrow. Yeah. For XYZ reason. Will you be happy? No, we will not be happy. Yeah, it can be just a problem with somebody not adding a proper calendar. Yeah, maybe a time zone is different when the calendar is added into the system. Okay, because of this, there can be lot of issues which can lead to some sort of a monetary loss as well. Hmm? So how do you work on it? Yeah. So these are the problems I have told you. Okay. What are the different symptoms of it? So when I talk about the symptoms, it can be some human error. Yeah. It can be some human error that the person has not tested the application good enough before giving it to end user. Hmm? Yeah. It might be just somebody has forgotten to do some task which was assigned to him. All these things can be related to the manual error. And because of this, the quality of the software which is delivered to the end user may be degraded. And nobody will want their food to be delivered uh, late by one day. Correct? Okay. So, okay, why do you think this problem occurs? Okay. Any thoughts? Why do this problem occurs? I talked about one particular theme in the two slides. Why do you think that the problem is occurring? Hmm? Anybody can give an answer? There is no right, there is no wrong answer. Anybody want to give an answer? No? You can give answer whatever you feel. Yeah. Just because I am asking, yeah, it should not be like it should be perfectly correct or anything. You can,
The,
whatever you
the
feel is
code
a
deployment could be incorrect.
very good. Okay. Anybody else? Hmm? Okay. So let me just tell you some of the things. Yeah. So a business development person has given you a problem statement. You as a IT person, you as a developer understood it. Yeah. And you implemented it based upon your understanding. Okay. And the business person did not consult with you again in terms of checking that, yeah, this is what the end product would be. And even the developer did not check with the business that this is the problem, this is the end product I'm going to give to the customer. Okay. Lack of coordination, lack of alignment with the business person and the IT person. Okay. Because of this lack of coordination, there can be many side effect of it. For example, the brand of your product is can be damaged because you are not giving what is expected by the customer. Because of all these things, your time, your effort is lost and there is a delay. Hmm? Okay. And why does it happen? Because there is no proper alignment with the IT and the business. Okay. Let's assume we have a very good alignment with the IT and the business. But if your software development practice is following a pretty old architecture, it is following something called as monolithic. Yeah, monolithic is nothing but if you look at the literal meaning of monolithic, it's like a one piece. Yeah. And if you have heard, I'm not sure, but um, a monolithic piece is nothing but one piece of, generally it is associated with one of the artifact which was found, uh, prehistorical artifact, which, and there was something written on a stone that was called as a monolithic earlier. Okay. So the piece might be, the software might be just one piece of code, which is very heavy, very bulky. And if you want to change anything in that software piece, there might be some side effect on it. And because of this, there might be delay. Okay. So because of all those things, there might be lot of problems which a developer can face, and that can eventually lead to issues. And something which is working on a particular environment might not work on the other environment. I'm sure you must have seen this kind of a memes. Worked fine in the dev environment, but now there is a problem. Okay. So somebody has done some changes, but because of their changes, because of that creativity of that application developer, the complete house is on fire. Okay. So who can help you in this? Yeah. Any guess? Who can help you? Is there any superhero to help you out? Yes? No? Hmm? Okay.
DevOps engineer.
Okay. Yeah. There is a superhero. Yeah. There is a superhero. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay. This is the superhero I'm talking about. Yeah. This is the superhero, which is a DevOps. Yeah. DevOps person. Yeah. Or a DevOps culture. Yeah. DevOps ecosystem, which is going to help you sail through this kind of issues. Hmm? Okay. So let us look at what are the different things we can expect from a DevOps. And what do you mean by DevOps? Yeah, so we'll just see what do you mean by DevOps. Okay. So let me give you some kind of a stat. Okay. So these are some of the stats which says that um, 86% of organization has seen some sort of a value when they have moved from to DevOps. Yeah. Another very interesting fact, and which is very interesting for the all the aspirant of job aspirant who want to move to DevOps. Okay, the DevOps market is going to surpass almost 25 billion in 2028. Yeah, and yeah, only 3 in 10 organization can tell where their cloud spend goes because yeah they do not have a visibility end-to-end observability into their DevOps or to into their environment. Yeah, over 90% organization now follows dev 80% practice DevOps practice, and which is eventually going to increase to almost 94%. Okay, so these are the some of the facts stats which are there, which says that yes, DevOps is the thing of the future and which will help to accelerate your software development life cycle. Okay, so let us understand a basic definition of DevOps. The term DevOps was first used by a person called Patrick Deponis. Yeah, he used this term, and it is a combination of two words, development and operation. Somebody might be doing the development of the application. Some might be just trying to build that environment for that developer to run the operation. Hmm? Do you agree? Yeah. So basically, DevOps is nothing but a collaborative way of developing and deploying a software. Yeah, it introduce certain methods which emphasize on having a proper communication, collaboration, and a tight integration between the development community and the information technology people who are going to build the environment for them. Hmm? So it is kind of a culture, yeah, which says that we can work better together. Yeah, if we yeah thought like each other, yeah, will be more successful. And if we work in work in a collaborative environment, breaking the silos, then we will be more successful. And by doing all of this, we are going to share the responsibilities. Isn't it correct? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. So then what we'll do is we will understand what are the basic concept of DevOps. We'll look at the principle, the practice and tool. And I'm also going to take you through a user story for the e-commerce website, which I have shown you some time back. Okay. So we'll go through that as well. Hmm. So where is my, okay, the website? Yes. So this is one of the the user story I'm going to take you through when they have actually adopted a DevOps architecture at C, which is the e-commerce platform which has actually adopted the DevOps, and this is still relevant. Okay, this was done in the year 2007. They have done the, yeah, everything within the 2007. Okay, so we'll look at those things. Yeah, before that, but we'll just have understand the principle. Okay, so DevOps is nothing but a culture. DevOps is nothing but a kind of a way how you work in an environment which is more collaborative, where we do lot of automations. We reduce the human dependencies. Yeah, add lot of automations. We do a continuous improvement in whatever we are doing. Yeah, and that too along with a cross-functional team. There is always a feedback and monitoring which is implemented in the DevOps culture. Okay, so what are the principles? We work on a principle called CAMS, which is nothing but culture, people, process, tool, which 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 emphasize that we look at more of automation to build a infrastructure by writing a code. Yeah, automation to automate the release cycle of our software, automation in terms of improving the development. And when we measure everything, when we measure everything, we are in a position to actually quantify it, that yes, whatever I have done, whether it has given me a right result, whether my customer is able to see new products every 1 hour, whether my customer is able to utilize those features which are there in my environment or my website on a very fast paced manner. Yeah, then when we are working in the DevOps, we have to do a collaborative way of working where the feedback is appreciated and so on. Hmm? So these are the principles of DevOps. And then, so DevOps is nothing but change in mindset along with the new tools, which is needed for today's world. Yeah. So these are the different practices which are going to be followed. And I'm not going to just explain you here. We will look at the use case. Okay. So let's go and look at the use case. Okay. So a brief background that this e-commerce website has almost 4.4 million sellers and almost 81.9 million buyers. Hmm? And they were constantly challenged in terms of releasing the new products to the customer, yeah, providing them the new goods on their website. Okay, and they were actually facing a lot of challenges. Yeah, and that's where they actually started to understand what are the things. Yeah, why the engineers are working in a silos. Yeah, the developer is working differently, the database administrator is working differently, and the operation team is working differently. Okay, yeah. So okay, so what happened is they moved, they saw this is the architecture of them. They were using the Ubuntu operating system for database Postgres. Yeah, Light PDV was their web server, and they were using Python and PHP. Hmm? So what were the challenges? Okay, there was a no check in terms of the codes which they were shipping. Code shipping means creating, yeah, weak writing code. Okay, whenever they want to actually collaborate with other people, there is very painful process to merge the code means when somebody is working on one piece of code and somebody is working on another piece of code, if I just want to merge that code, that is a lot of challenge. Yeah, hands off to developer. What is this? That yes, I have done something and I want to pass this to somebody else. Yeah, there is a there is a communication gap in between. And yeah, if I want to deploy this, yeah, there might be lot of infrastructure issues which I will face. Yeah, they were facing. And then if I want to roll back anything, yeah, there is a issue in terms of the rollback as well. Yeah, and they were very very late in terms of fixing the bugs. Yeah, and the bugs are not found out in the early life cycle of the development. Okay, so these are the yeah challenges HC face. Okay, so to eliminate all those things, what they did is they did a cultural shift in terms of, yeah, okay, yeah, understanding how we can have a better collaborative environment. Okay, how do we synchronize everything, all our tasks in a real time. Okay, and that's where, okay, they move to DevOps. Okay, what they did is, okay, in the year journey, what they have did, they actually moved to a philosophy of code as a craft, where they have actually used the principle of DevOps. Hmm? They use the principle of continuous integration and continuous delivery. Yeah, they use different tools. Yeah, by using the automated testing, finding out the bugs in the early life cycle of their software development. Yeah, and then doing a continuous monitoring. Okay, they used different tools to actually continuous monitoring. Okay, and then they did a postmortem of all the data which they have recorded based upon the monitoring what we have done. Okay, and that's how they actually improve their complete release cycle. Okay, so I will not go into details of it, but that is how they have actually adopted the DevOps principles, practices, and the tools which they have used. Some of the tools I will just explain you. They went from a siloed application development to a version controlled way of doing the things. Yeah, say they used version control system. Okay, like for example, Git, Bitbucket, to version control their software application development. They introduce automated testing in their environment, so that they test the bugs, they test the issues in the early life cycle. Hmm? They used proactive monitoring and different metrics. Okay, and they implemented the continuous integration, development, and delivery in their pipe cycle. That helps them to actually release the product to the end customer at a faster pace. Yeah, and that's why you see so many products available in their actually website, and that are updated on a very fast manner. Why? Okay, this is the India. This is the India website. Okay, all homemade vintage, and these products and all those things are being updated at a very fast pace. Yeah, not just once in a day, okay, but multiple times in a day. Whenever they feel that yes, new product has to be added and to be given to the customer, they are doing this. All this by using some sort of a tools which are part of the DevOps ecosystem. These are the tools I'm talking about. We talked about some tools like Git. Yeah. So this is a DevOps ecosystem. Now, anybody can explain me why there is an infinite sign for this? Anybody? Hmm? Any thought? Any logical thought?
It's the ongoing process, like
It's an
continuous
ongoing
deployment.
process. Very good. Yes. Anybody else? Hmm? No? Okay.
Process is a loop. Process is
Yeah.
a loop.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. So as you see, this sign is of a infinity. Yeah, because there is always a room for any kind of a improvement in whatever we are delivering to our customers. There's always a room for us to actually deliver better. Today, I am able to use certain features on Amazon.com. Yeah, if I want to, if I give some feedback to the Amazon.com that certain features are not used, yeah, not helpful, they will improve on it, they will deliver it, and this cycle will continue. Yeah, it might be by a certain set of customer from certain geography. This time there might be another set of customers who are going to, yeah, ask for some more features, and that's how you keep on continuously improving and continuously innovating and delivering the software to the customer. Yeah, and that's why the infinity sign is there. And if you look at, there are different phases of this. Okay, test, build, code, plan, yeah, monitor, operate, deploy, release, and all those things. So if you look at from a code perspective, whenever I am as a coder trying to code something in collaboration with my team, I will use a version control system or source control management system, SCM, like Git. Yeah. Okay. So I can use Git, Bitbucket, and so on. Yeah. Then I can use certain configuration management tools like Puppet, Chef, Ansible to manage the configuration of hundreds of server for my developers. I can monitor all those things by using different tools, New Relic, Splunk, Datadog. This will give me the metrics. That will give me insight into how my application is performing. I can deliver those software by using the CI tools, yeah, like Jenkins, Circle CI, Bamboo, and I will build those environment by using tools like Maven, Gradle, and so on. Yeah, we talked about testing our application early in the life cycle. Then we can use tools like JUnit, Selenium, and so on. So these are the different tools, and these are not the only tools. Hmm? If you want to be successful in a role of a DevOps, then you need to have a basic understanding of certain tools. Okay, what are those tools? Just a minute. Yes, I just have a pen. Okay, some of the tools. So you need to understand Git. You need to have knowledge of Jenkins. Yeah, you need to have a knowledge of, let's say, Ansible, which is configuration management. Then build tool like Maven. Yeah, and then monitoring tool like New Relic. Then you will need a tool called ISE. Okay, ISE like Terraform, EF. Yeah, or pretty much cloud agnostic like Cloud Formation from AWS or ARM template from Azure. Yeah, like this. Then you will need, yeah, tools like testing for testing, Selenium. Yeah, monitoring, for monitoring you might need something called as Prometheus and Grafana. Yeah, Grafana. Okay, so these are the different tools you have to learn to be successful as a DevOps engineer. Okay, and one more very important, the basic of all of this is the operating system. Yeah, which is Linux. Yeah, Linux. Yeah, and then the Windows. Okay, so all those things you need to learn to be successful in a DevOps role. Okay, so any query, question so far? Yeah, then we will just look at some of the tools. Okay, and how the CI/CD pipeline looks, and what is the difference between a CI/CD pipeline. Any questions on this? Hmm?
Oh, sir, will these concepts will be covered in our class?
Yes, we are going to look at those tools. Yeah, we are going to look at Terraform. We are going to look at Grafana, Jenkins. Yeah, we are going to look at Prometheus, and we are also going to look at something called as K8s, which is nothing but Kubernetes and Docker. Docker. We are going to look at Docker as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
I have a question here. So,
Mhm.
so if you mean we are going to look about these tools in our next training. Since this is the first class, I'm asking you this question. So, are we going to have each and every phase that we are seeing here in the infinite symbol? So, are we going to do that as in like in as a developer, like by the code or something like that, or are we going to look it as an overview?
So DevOps is all about hands-on practice. Okay.
Okay.
So if
Yeah.
somebody is teaching you theory, okay, do not go and learn from that there.
Yes.
Okay. Theory is just to actually make you understand. Now, when I say theory, I will tell you that what is the why Jenkins is used. Okay, what is the history of Jenkins? It is open source tool. That is the only theory I'm going to tell you. And we are going
Yes.
to do a practice where we will
Okay.
build our Jenkins server. We will create a
Okay.
pipeline. We can create a
Okay.
freestyle pipeline. We will create a multi pipeline. Yeah, and then we will build a complete environment. Yeah. For example, if I just want to create a Python application, okay, how do I do that? I will write a scripted pipeline to do that. I will automate it. Okay. How do I automate it? Whenever somebody has written a code and as soon as he has committed using Git, it should trigger the pipeline. That is what we are going to do. Yeah. And it is going to be, the class is going to be almost 80% of hands-on stuff. Yeah, and 20% of theory. Theory is just to support the concept what we are going to do. That's it. Otherwise, it is not a theory. If somebody wants to learn theory, you can go and search on internet. There are so many theory of about all those things. If you just search, you will get theory about it. But we are going to do the practical in this. Okay.
Thanks for answering my
Yeah.
question.
Anybody else? So everybody understood the importance of DevOps. Nobody is asking me how much salary I'm going to get for a fresher. Yeah, who's starting in DevOps.
Yes, I was about to ask that.
Okay.
But do they prefer DevOps as a fresher? That was my question.
Yeah. So I'll answer both of your questions. Now, see, to hire a DevOps, okay, there are certain things a hiring manager will look into it. Yeah. So I just mentioned about some of the tools. For example, Terraform, Prometheus, Grafana, Kubernetes, Docker, Git, Ansible. Yeah. These are the bare minimum thing you should know. These are the bare minimum. Yeah, it is not just about one tool, but a combination of almost 5 to 6 tools. Yeah, if you are able to actually learn those things in a practical way and you are able to demonstrate that to somebody who want to hire you as a DevOps engineer, okay, you have a good chance to get hired if you are able to explain, if you are able to showcase the project you have done, not just in a theory part, but in a practical manner, then you have a very good chance to get hired. Sakshi, to answer your question, there are n number of openings for freshers. There are n number of openings for freshers. All they need is, do you really understand or not in a practical way? And how do you demonstrate that? By doing projects, by showcasing that you have done this project end to end, putting that into your resume. And if somebody asks you that, yes, what kind of a pipeline you have created for in Jenkins, what is the build tool you have used, and how, if you are able to explain how the var file is created in a maven, yeah, then you have a very good chance to actually get selected.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so the starting salary for a fresher in India, okay, I am categorically telling you, in India, for a fresher in DevOps would be anything in the range of 6 to 10 lakhs. Again, depends from company to company. Okay. Now, anybody who has a IT background experience and he's learning new DevOps now, okay, he will be treated much like a fresher. Again, based upon his salary, he will get a good increment on top of it. So I have seen people, yeah, who has 4 to 5 years of experience and getting a salary of excess of 25 to 30 lakhs. Okay, that is kind of a growth you will see in a DevOps field. And those people who are having 4 to 5 years of experience, they might have just 2 to 3 years of experience in DevOps. Okay, yeah. uh, Kishore, did I answer your question?
Yes, yes. So somewhat yes. Yeah, but I have an
Mhm,
experience in the IT. I worked for
mhm,
2.5 years as an analyst
mhm,
there. Okay, but
mhm.
in the d- d- DevOps field, I don't have an experience.
Yeah,
So can
so
I
you will be
assume around I'll
Mhm.
be getting 30 to 40% hike on my last CTC?
So that's a very subjective answer. If you are having, let's say, 15 lakh as a salary, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you are expecting 30 to 40 percent increase on it, yeah, um,
Mm-hmm.
in your normal role, whatever you are doing, yes, you can get it in the market. But if you are asking that, yeah, for a DevOps, yeah, if you are starting as a fresher, I will say no. because you have to demonstrate your skills in the DevOps. You have to demonstrate those things, that you know things, you are able to do it. Yeah. And if you are able to demonstrate, yes, why not? I have seen people getting 100% hike. Yeah. If they have demonstrated those things. And let me tell you, okay, um, there is a huge gap in terms of what the market is expecting and what the people are getting ready in terms of their skill set. So there's a room if you are able to focus on learning the skill for next 6 months. If you focus, yeah, for next 6 months, that I want to learn this, yeah, I want to focus m- only on this for next 6 months, I'm sure you are going to double your salary within 1 or 2 years. Okay. So nobody has asked me anything about the cloud environment. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a question regarding that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Same from my side. I also want to ask about that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like,
Go ahead.
if I am practicing on AWS cloud, will it be fine, or do I need to have a proficiency in all the clouds? Like,
Okay. So very, very apt question. Now, all the tools which you are seeing here, yeah, and here, um, Ansible, yeah, Ansible, Puppet, Git, yeah, Maven, almost all of Jenkins, almost all of them are open source tool, which are cloud agnostic. What is the meaning of cloud agnostic? Ansible can work with your Azure, Ansible can work with your AWS, yeah, and it can work with your Google. Same goes for Jenkins. Same goes for Kubernetes, Docker, yeah. Same goes for Grafana. Same goes for Terraform. So my suggestion or my view is that if you are able to have a good understanding, intermediate understanding on a certain cloud provider, that is good enough. Yeah, all these tools works the same way on any cloud provider. Hmm? Okay, Shubham?
yeah, right.
Yeah. And who was the other person? Yeah, Niru. Yeah. What was your question?
Actually, I have a little bit knowledge of Azure cloud.
Okay. Yes.
That is okay for that.
Yes, that's absolutely. Yeah. So what are you going to do when you are actually working as a DevOps engineer on Azure? You are going to use the tools which are there in the
Git- GitHub,
Azure. Yeah.
yes,
Azure.
Azure
Yeah. So
DevOps
you
and
will
Git.
integrate. Yeah. So you will integrate Git with your Azure pipeline. Okay. You
Yes,
are going
yes.
to use Ansible for configuration management.
And
Same you
Git,
are going to do.
and also Visual Studio.
Yeah, so Visual Studio is nothing but a in IDE, which is nothing but a kind of a environment for you to develop your code. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
Visual Studio works with your anything. Yeah. So if you are building if you are building an infrastructure for AWS or Azure for or then any matter, that tool is it's just a kind of a development tool for you. Hmm?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So whether you know Azure, whether you know AWS, whether you know Oracle, all these tools will work with them.
Okay.
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 Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Anybody else? Hmm?
Hello?
Yeah. Tell me.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Tell me, MV.
Yes, that was an opportunity here in Nigeria.
Uh, are you
To explore.
MV? Can you ask the question?
I said there was a opportunity here in Nigeria to explore.
Can you be little louder? I'm not able to understand you.
So are there opportunity here in Nigeria and Africa to explore DevOps?
I'm really sorry, but can you repeat it maybe little slow?
Are there opportunity to explore in DevOps in Africa?
Okay. Okay. You are trying to explore the DevOps opportunity in Africa, correct? Okay. Then.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I would say that there is a good market, and I would say that yes, um, in terms of skilling in and then getting job in that African market, there is a huge potential. people are now learning those skill set. They are applying. There's a lot of industries which are coming in the African continent. I think if you are one of the earlier uh, uh, technology person who knows all those things, yeah, there's a good opportunity for you.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So we'll move next. Yeah. So just a minute. Yes. Yeah, it is all. Yeah, okay, so let me go to the next. Okay, so any software development lifecycle will consist of different stages. Okay, stages like where you are actually writing a code and which is committed into a source code repository, which is nothing but your Git. Okay, you use those code to actually build the, yeah, application. Yeah, build the application. All those changes are built, and then you test that code. Yeah, you test that code, that whether the code is right, there is no bug and all those things, and then you deploy that application onto your server. Yeah, so whatever the things you have written as a part of the the software development, you build it, test it, and deploy. And once you deploy, you will use that particular application. You will get new feedbacks from the end user. And based upon that feedback, you will make changes to your source code again and follow the same step. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and the 4 step. Okay, this is nothing but your continuous integration and delivery. Okay, so if you are doing this, okay, you are building it very quickly and automatically building that code, testing it out. Yeah, that is nothing but your continuous integration. Yeah, this is a continuous integration of that. Developer is committing the changes, you are building those changes, then testing, and then deploying it. Okay, for that we use something called as continuous integration, which allows multiple people to actually work on a particular single code repository. For example, somebody is working on some features, so one team is working on the UI and somebody is working on the backend. All these things will be merged into your this GitHub, and then you are able to actually release that. Yeah. What are the key goals of the CI is to actually find out the bugs early in the life cycle, improve the software quality, and reduce the time taken to validate and release the new software. This is the aim of a CI. Then what is continuous delivery? So you automate the build, test it, and deploy when it is required. Okay. Yeah. So what is the continuous delivery? You will have some sort of a manual intervention here. Okay, wherein you will wait for somebody to actually review it, and then, okay, and then deliver it. Okay, so what do you do in continuous delivery? You build, you test, and you prepare for. Okay, you use the CD in conjunction with the CI to deploy the code changes, to deliver the deployment task, yeah, and all those things. Okay, so this complete workflow can be fully automated or it can be partially automated as well. Okay, so what is continuous deployment? When it is fully automated, the build is automated, tested, or automated, and deployment, then it is the continuous deployment. If you have, okay, if you have some sort of a human intervention, then it is nothing but the, okay, continuous delivery. Okay, no approval is needed for continuous deployment, but for continuous delivery, you need to have a authorization. So in that case, when we should use continuous delivery, we should use this into prod environment. Correct? Why? Because we will be doing some kind of a manual checks of the code. Yeah, doing some kind of authorization and all those things so that our production should not fail. Okay, we can use continuous deployment in our lower environment. Yeah, lower environment like dev, yeah, dev, QA, yeah, and then even stage. Okay, so this is nothing but your continuous delivery and deployment. Now, this is what you will see on a AWS ecosystem. So you have different tools on the AWS ecosystem. You have something called as Git, which is open source, but AWS has their own code repository, which is nothing code commit. In AWS, there is a tool called Code Build, yeah, which is from AWS. We can use equivalent tool of Jenkins, yeah, Circle CI and all those things. Then you have a deployment by using a code deploy, cloud formation, and then there is something called as elastic beanstalk. The ops work is nothing but the chef, okay, managed version of chef. It is now phased out. Hmm? So this is all the tools which are available in the AWS to do the continuous deployment, delivery and deployment. Okay. Any questions, any thoughts on this? Yeah. No? Okay. So are you ready to start your DevOps journey with me?
Yes.
Yes, when it will be start?
Okay, so Niru, for that you can get in touch with the admin team. Okay, so for that, all of you need to do one thing. You have to fill the form, which is there in the chat. It is very important that you fill the form, the attendance form, yeah, and follow all the things which are needed in this form. So this is the form. You have to go and fill it. Yeah. Okay, put your name, your email ID, phone number, and the feedback of this training, and any queries, questions you have. For example, what will be the class timing? Yeah. Okay. How many hours we are going to do? So for example, we are going to run this batch for almost 50 hours, almost 50 hours. Yeah. What kind of a prerequisite you are going to need? Whether I'm going to teach cloud environment, we are going to cover AWS as part of the cloud environment in this. That will be very much high level, because if you need more details about it, there is a different course for it. Yeah, so you can go deep into the AWS course, which is also there in the offering. So all of you fill the form and give us the feedback, and then what we will do is the team is going to get back to you in terms of your queries, questions, and then we will be able to have a batch with all of you to learn the DevOps. Okay.
One more question.
I have one question here.
Duration of access of recordings.
There will be recordings of this session. You can access that. There will be a LMS which is going to be used for the class, which will have the recordings, which will have the content, whatever I'm using the reference material, I will share in that.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Yeah, Kishore, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, for example, our lectures will be on weekdays, right?
Again, based upon the majority of the people, weekends, weekdays. Yeah, the admin team will help you in that.
Okay, and apart from that, so for example, if I have a doubt apart from the lectures,
Mhm.
okay, and if I want a one-to-one, like, connect with the mentors to solve my doubt, so is that option available?
So you can connect on the in the class. That's the option you can have.
No, in the lecture, like, I, I can unmute myself and ask a doubt, right? I
Yes,
know
you
that.
can do that. Yeah,
But apart from the lecture, for example, if I'm practicing on my own
yeah.
at home, right? So at that point of time, if I have a doubt, so what should I do?
So you can hold your doubt and you can ask in the next question. It's not a 24/7 kind of a live support. Correct, Kishore?
Actually, see, if it's a weekend batch, so for example, I have to hold my doubt for, like, 5 days.
Okay. So
That
in that
that
case,
will
what
not
you
be
can do?
feasible.
Yeah, in that, what there will be a group channel which is created for that. Yeah. So you can paste
Okay,
your questions and then we will be able to answer you. Yeah.
okay, okay. And and how will you assist for the placements? Like, like after which month
For yeah,
are
for that I am not the right person. You can get in touch with the admin team. They will you call them. They will be able to answer your queries on that.
okay, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll end then the demo. Okay. I hope to see you all of you in our next class. Yeah. So all the best. Make decision fast. Okay. Yeah. So the more you delay your decision, the more chances that yes, somebody else is upskilling and then getting that job. Okay, so decide fast. Yeah, and let me warn you actually, because this is a very competitive field where you have to upskill yourself. Yeah, you have to be upskill with the latest things, whatever happening in the industry, and it's all about practice. Yeah, the more you do practice, the more proficient you become in this field, and there is more likely chances of you getting hired. Okay, fine.